dude, I mean, my phone's just blowing up. I can't. Like, I want a podcast, but this is insane.
I mean, it's wild. It's wild.
We are recording, by the way, so if you want to just go. My phone is broken. Let's put it this way. It's just playing videos in the background. Triple H is just yelling at somebody in the background of my phone right now.
Man, I was refreshing my phone, my Instagram feed over and over again, trying to figure out if there was something else that I missed, something that happened.
So yeah, there was the backstage. There was the backstage interaction with Triple H.
What did Rock and Triple H say to each? I heard the fix it. I heard fix it. What did Triple H say?
Triple H was saying there's a lot of tension, and Rock just goes, it's a lot of bullshit. It's what it is, and fix it or we're gonna fix it. And what did I tell you right before this press conference?
You said there would be a tag match.
I was like, I joked around. I was joking of course. I know for a fact that MJF ain't going nowhere. You could take that however you want. Yeah. He's going to be there till 2027. But I fantasized that, like, what if MJF shows up? Then his best friend, Cody, the roller coaster or whatever he calls him, and they tag up, and it's Bloodline. It's The Rock and Roman. And I mean, Rollins makes sense, it's that he's a dusty kid. So it makes sense.
So how do you see it going? So you lay out to me with everything you just saw. I guess you should lay out what just happened at the press conference and then let me know what you think that all means and where it's going from here.
All right. So I think everybody was tuning in to see the Cody decision. And what we got was Rollins calling out Cody. Obviously did his shtick, I'm the visionary, which, by the way, is kind of a weird press conference. It was more of just people cutting promos all night. And there wasn't a lot of questions or interview situations going on. So that part kind of felt weird. But it was a show. They put on a show. And I want to talk a little bit about everything that happened before that. But let's address the big one. So, yeah, Rollins comes out, does his shtick, calls out Cody. Cody does not show up. The head of the table shows up. Roman Reigns walks out. Rollins is talking smack, blah, blah, blah. The chief is here, and he says, Cody, you took too long. I'm making the decision for WrestleMania because I'm the head of the table. Rollins is like, that's not how it works. No, that's exactly how this works. And then he goes, I choose The Rock. This is what Roman Reigns says. Boos immediately. Boo! Why? Rock comes out to a fucking sea of boos. Keeps trying to do his finally. The Rock or whatever. Can't get it out. Boos, boos, boo. Every time he puts the mic up, boo. It's like 1996 again, like he said. It was interesting, but and I was waiting for it. I'm like, how is he going to deal with this? And as I said, I hope I posted it as a story February 4th when the whole thing went down. I said, I want full heel Rock. Let him lean in on the Cody bullshit. Let him cut a promo on Cody. Call him out. Fucking lean in on it. If you're going to be a part of the company, get back into character, dude. He's been a babyface in real life for way too long. Everybody loved The Rock. Oh, my God, the movies. Hey, The Rock. Can't do any wrong. Well, guess what? And he's back, and he's a heel. He looks at the audience and says, it doesn't matter what you think. I fucking lost my shit. I was like, yes. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Afterwards, after all the shit talking, he points at the screen, shows his Samoan Dynasty family tree, which I thought was cool, which is another part of my fantasy booking with MJF. I'm like, let's just go all the way and have Rock at the head of the table and have him bring in Zilla and fucking Jacob and just reunite the Usos. Just have the real Samoan Dynasty now. Now it's not the Bloodline. Now it's the Samoan Dynasty as a faction with The Rock at the head of it. And fucking Roman goes, you know what? Here are the peppers. Take the peppers.
That was my favorite part of the message when you were like, Roman's going to give Rock the peppers. And I knew exactly what you were talking about. I know it's called the Ula Fala because they made a whole storyline about it, but they do look like peppers. That looks like some
Aren't they peppers?
cayennes.
I'm pretty sure it's peppers. I think that's the tradition. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know Samoan culture well enough. I don't know Hawaiian lineage to know more than the Anawa'i family to know what the Ula Fala truly is made out of.
I'm going to assume it's chili peppers of some sort.
It's Frank's Red Hot.
Red Hot chili
bottles
peppers.
Of Frank's Red Hot on a necklace.
Anthony Kiedis is rolling around right now because we're talking.
It's hot ones.
Oh, my God. So, okay. So Rock shows the Samoan dynasty tree thing. Talks about how there is only one royal family. Out comes out Cody, says this is all bullshit. You don't get to decide. I fucking earned this. Amazing promo from Cody, by the way. And chooses the match with Roman. Brings up the family thing, tells him that his grandfather would be ashamed of him. The Rock steps up. Hey, his family is my family. His blood is my blood. So now we have a problem. I'm like, oh, there's the tag match I was expecting. And they should go with it. I think they should go with that. Have a tag match at the Elimination Chamber. Even though they say that Roman's not scheduled, things can change. Card subject to change. Have the tag match. Rock and Roman versus Cody and Rollins at Elimination Chamber. That's huge.
That's big, especially in Australia in a stadium. That's big.
That crowd's going to go nuts. Are you kidding me? The Rock's music hits in this giant stadium in Australia. How long has it been since The Rock has been in Australia?
Although, of course, that's what we all want to see. The only reason I don't think that's happening, I don't want to jump in. You got a lot more to cover, but if you bring out The Rock, you only get one first time to see him again. This is one of those ones you don't put. It's just Mania. And that's why when we get into this, when we really get into what's going to happen, I look, the first reaction is, of course, it's a tag match but you only get one first time again. And you save that. That's also like, I also don't know if I think that's a tag match at WrestleMania. I think Rock, keep going.
Maybe night one.
I think what this leads to is still one-on-one matches, because I think, especially when you talk about The Rock coming back. Look, Floyd Mayweather is not in a three-way fight, right? He fought Logan Paul because that was money. Mayweather and Pacquiao are going to go again. They're not bringing Logan Paul in as the third. That's a one-on-one battle. That's a one-on-one fight. That's in UFC. If John Jones fights again, that's a one-on-one fight. That's how it goes. That's the big-time money. You also, storytelling-wise, I don't want to pull the curtain back too much. It's hard to build real heat and tension if it's not one-on-one. So they're going to have the falling out between Roman and Rock is going to occur at some point, but it's going to set the two of them up. It's got to set the two of them up.
Yeah, I hear you. But, I saw a meme.
That's the money.
I saw a meme, which, I shouldn't go off memes, but it wasn't really a meme. It was just a picture of side-by-side WrestleMania with Batista, I believe it was, Randy Orton, and Daniel Bryan. The Yes Movement, right? Wasn't that was the big Mania where the crowd goes crazy, and that's what they're going for. I think it becomes a three-way. I think that, fix it or I'm going to fix it at the end is, well, I'm in the board of directors, and I'm in that match now then. You can have your match, but I'm now a part of that match. And Reigns, I'm going to pin you because I'm the head of the table. That's how you get the beef. You keep the beef there. It's like a side story of like, I'm the head, you're the head, whatever. But there's also Cody we need to conquer together. And we could team up during the match because we're family, blah, blah, blah. Beat him up, get him out of the picture, and then you and I decide who's going to be head of the table. You know what I mean? They probably do the spot where they fucking bury Cody under 17 chairs and the table, the announce table and all that. And then they go have their match in the ring. And then at the end, oh my God, Cody's back. How is he moving? So, I think that's where we end up.
You're going three-way at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Night 2, Cody, Rock, and Roman.
Yeah. You can have the tag match night 1 and then have the 3-way night 2.
All right. Let's make sure we get a chance to finish what happened at the press conference because Cody cuts this promo. He's now cutting down Roman's family.
Yep.
Your grandfather, he points at The Rock, would be ashamed of how you're acting.
Mm-hmm.
And Roman can't believe it, right? The tribal chief is like, how dare you talk about my family? But then the new board member of TKO Group, the biggest movie star in the world, the guy with arms the size of any two of those guys could have put their arms together. It would not be the size of The Rock's arms. Yeah. He starts to walk into frame. Don't you talk about my family? And he pulls a Will Smith and slaps Cody right in the face on live television. A real slap. That was no working slap. That was a slap. That was a shoot slap.
Yeah, that was a shoot slap for sure. Now, here's the thing. Here's where I just made this post. Right before we started this, I was making this post. This is where I bring in for WrestleMania Vin Diesel.
It's a special guest referee.
Yes. Oh. Vin Diesel.
He's going to referee that match a quarter mile at a time. You can bet that.
Did someone say family?
Did someone say family? Not your family, stupid. No, our family.
Hey, I know you, Rock.
Oh, my God. The Fast and the Furious and the Wrestlemania.
Hey, make it, they want to make movies. They want to be in the movie business. This is the perfect crossover event. Shit's going crazy, by the way. And something's going on, and I'd like to address this. And the wrestling world alone is going out of control. There's so much shit going on. I've been wanting to do this podcast for weeks, but every other day, something huge happens. And as I'm writing notes, like, all right, well, we'll get together. Let's get together next week, and we'll talk about what happened with Vince McMahon. And then, oh, shit. And then it gets crazier. And then it keeps getting crazier and crazier, and more stuff is happening. And Scott D'Amore is gone from TNA. What the fuck is happening? But that's happening, I think, everywhere. I don't know if you noticed. Did you see Disney purchased Epic Games? Or like $1.4 billion worth of Epic Games. So now they're merging into they're creating a new universe, they called it, which is Disney, Marvel, Star Wars, Fortnite, all that shit together. I don't know what's going on.
Wow.
I feel like the universe, everything going on around us is kind of becoming unpredictable, and I like it. I like what's going on with the WWE. I like what's going on with the cleaning up that's going on in WWE. I mean, I'm not going to get into all that. We can talk about it later if we want. Let's finish the press conference and WrestleMania. Moving into something that's been bothering me about WWE. What the fuck? What did Bayley do to piss people off at WWE?
In what way?
I don't know if you've been following Miss Bayley's Twitter or X or whatever you call it, but first, she posted a screenshot of her character model from WWE 2K24, which is horrendous. And she went to the post WWE Games posted of the with that picture, and she just put "help me" underneath.
Yeah, that's good.
Then they posted the picture of WrestleMania. No Bayley. She's not in the poster. So she then comments again, like, "Why do I look like Bianca? Didn't Bayley throw Bianca out of the Rumble? Didn't Bayley win the Rumble? Why is she not on the poster?" So it was funny because she commented on that, and then someone photoshopped her fucking the games model into the poster. She's like, "Oh, you motherfucker!"
So it's the bad rendering on the WrestleMania poster.
It's so funny, dude. So that's been happening on the internet. So my hopes were when Bianca came out. That's when you send Bayley out.
Did Bianca come out of the press conference?
She came out of the press conference. She was the first one out. And just basically like, I'm the EST. I'm going to find my way to WrestleMania, probably the Elimination Chamber. Bye. What? How about Bayley comes out and addresses the situation? Like, hey, what is this? What's going on? Why am I not?
You know what that is, though. Look, you know what that is. You can't. naive or cynical. You know what that is? She has a new reality show coming out with her husband. She is a massive cross-brand, cross-platform star at this point. I totally understand why Bayley might feel slighted and should have a spot on the poster. At the same time, those kinds of decisions aren't made. Sometimes they're made ahead of time when you don't know. But also, if that is somebody who is getting mainstream coverage, has their own television show coming out. We know the success that Total Divas had, where it pulled in fans from a different area. It grew the actual business by doing that. That is a decision where, whether you like it or to understand that is why one might do it, can't be too upset as if Bianca also isn't a star, doesn't deserve spots as well. We're not talking about some Johnny come lately getting put on the post. We're talking about a multi-time champion headlining multiple events, has their own television show, and will always be in the running for main event spots in championship matches. Even if that was not made clear ahead, that might be a decision that was made ahead of time based on that before they even knew if Bayley was winning the Rumble.
Yeah. No, and look, and that's all fine, but I think in this new era I think Triple H was the first out. My bad. Triple H was the first out. And
is Rollins on the poster?
Yes,
he is on the poster. Okay,
he's a world champ. Deserves.
Rhea's on the poster.
Rhea's on the poster.
Is Io on the poster?
I don't know.
Look, if Io's not on the poster, I don't know if we can get upset that Bayley's not on the poster.
But Cody's on the poster.
Of course, Cody's on the poster. Cody's earned it. Her
argument is the 2 Rumble winners should be on the poster. You know what I mean? And it's just Cody, meaning, he won the Rumble. He's on the poster. She should be on the poster too. I mean, I agree.
Yeah, look, Bayley should be on the poster, but not more than Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie deserved Oscar nominations. It's not a bigger snub than that.
No, I know.
Okay, Bayley, of course. And Bayley, you're going to walk away with the championship and you're going to be on the poster at SummerSlam. We got you, Bayley. We got you. We're all behind you. You set a record.
I just think this is a missed opportunity on Triple H's part. This is how you get Bayley over. Because she's not that over. She's over. But this whole situation with the damage control thing, it's always been kind of lukewarm with the audience. Those matches, all the segments, they're good, but they always just, it's golf claps. You want to get Bayley over? Have her come out fucking kicking and screaming during the Bianca promo. What the fuck is going on? They're going in that direction, as you saw with The Rock cursing nonstop and Cody. This is bullshit. They're getting in more. This Netflix deal is awesome because they're going to be able to do whatever the fuck they want now, which is
Jesus. Great. We haven't even talked about the Netflix deal. My God.
Right. They're going to be on Netflix in 2025. So much has happened. We haven't done an episode, 2-3 weeks, and so much has happened. The Netflix deal is great, I think. Yeah. Although I'm angry at Netflix for all of their password sharing nonsense and increasing prices nonstop over and over, we're all going to keep using it. What are we not going to see stuff? We're gonna, and especially with WWE now. Now I'm more excited because the interface for Netflix is much better than the WWE Network or Peacock. So I'll be able to access some of these things. Today I was thinking I would like to rewatch the critical moments in the Yes Movement storyline to see if I can find some more comparisons with Cody, because that's kind of all right, I kind of like that idea. Do you think Netflix is going to hurt the business? The switch
Netflix, will switching to Netflix hurt the business in what way?
Well, there's going to be people that are not going to want to pay to go. There are people without Netflix that are not going to switch off of their cable. I know these are not the target demographics, I'm sure, but there's a lot of older folks that are probably not going to switch to Netflix from cable.
I don't have cable, but I have Netflix. I'll finally be able to watch Monday Night Raw live again for the first time in over a decade. I haven't had cable since I moved into my first apartment and couldn't afford to get cable. I haven't gone back.
No, I'm with you. I'm the same way. I don't have
it's cable. It's going to be massive. You expose yourself to a much larger audience with a built-in name value. Right now, if you said what has a bigger name value, NBC or Netflix, Netflix has a far more valuable name value than NBC. NBC might have a stalwart following, especially maybe even across the mainstream simplicity of the the simple market of it all. They might have a bigger grasp, but Netflix is the name. That's a massive deal, which also them signing WWE is a precursor to them trying to sign sports. So this is the deal that puts them in place to sign the NCAA or the NFL or the NBA or Major League Baseball or hockey or soccer. This is the first time you would get live soccer into the U.S., and that's how you finally build the market. But this is a play for a major sports affiliation, also a UFC affiliation, because that is the same company now at this point. So this helps business. This was that's a massive deal across the board for everybody. It helps WWE, it helps Netflix. This is big. This is what the next level of the business looks like.
Yeah. And it's exciting. It's very exciting. But another thing that happened, and we kind of touched on it slightly, the Vince McMahon stuff happened. And there's a lot of talk about that, dude. And it's not just Vince that's the talk. The talk about Vince, honestly, not shocking. I mean, when I saw this, the only thing that shocked me is the way that he texts. Who texts like that? And then I actually asked a couple people. I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to get anybody in trouble. But I've spoken to some folks that were there that they're like, it's part of the kink.
What is
typing like a fucking savage child, like a teenager? Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come all over you. Like, it's part of the thing that got him off was acting that way because he was so formal and serious in every other aspect of his life that's how he got his rocks off. I'm like, all among the other shit that helped him get his rocks off, literal shit, shitting on people, all terrible, awful things. But there are so many people involved. The erasing of Brock Lesnar is happening right now. I don't know if you're aware of that. He got removed from the video game cover. He's his merch is on clearance. Like, they're trying to.
That's why he wasn't at the Rumble. All right.
Exactly right. Apparently, Braun Breaker took his spot. Yeah. From all the reports that he did all the eliminations he was supposed to do, all the face-offs he was supposed to do. Cool, good, clean house, man. But there are more people, and a lot of a lot of people on the internet. There's a lot of chatter that Triple H is amongst them. What happens if Triple H gets named in one of these allegations and he has to go too? What happens then? Does Dwayne take over? And what if Dwayne gets called out? Because guess what? He was there too.
Man, these are current allegations. So this was something that they said happened 2 years ago, right?
Well, there are more coming out, but yes.
There's more coming out.
Apparently, the newest one that came out was about the young lady that committed suicide. That was an employee and apparently got raped in Saudi Arabia at some point, and that people knew. And blah, blah, blah.
God!
There's just so much coming out. It's wild, and Vince is still denying all of it, and so is actually Johnny Ace is now ratting everybody out, which is hilarious to see him like just caving in and just ratting everyone out. Not that he shouldn't. Because do the right thing, call these people out. But also, I mean, if you're Vince, you're probably looking to put a hit on that man right now. Oh my God,
man! I hadn't really read very deeply into it. I read some of those text messages, like you said, came off very much like a horny teenager almost. Horrible to think that somebody was at the other end of this in this unwanted behavior in a workplace. Because look, you text like that with your lover if that's how you spend your afternoons in between meetings, and that's what you like. But if this is something, it's work, it's criminal. The amount of people that are affected, my God! Even I was thinking on this morning, knowing we were going to talk, maybe this person doesn't even want that lawsuit out, right? So the amount that these people are having to go through by the hand of somebody who is now on that borderline edge of Harvey Weinstein-like criminal activity is so sad for those people and so difficult when it comes to how connected to our entire lives, right? I've been watching since I was a child, and he was a part of it, and it's really sad for the people who had to face it directly. I didn't even know about some of that deeper stuff, and that's so terrible to hear.
Dude,
man.
It's so bad. One of the text messages mentions, "You need 3 big black cocks." And I'm like, 3 black, ooh. Whoo! Who could that?
Jesus,
Who could that?
Jesus. Come on, we're gonna get in so much trouble for laughing at anything related to this. Holy cow! Oh my God! Come on.
Nothing.
Three. You want to know who Brock Lesnar? That's three. Look, we can't be making these jokes. This is terrible. This is a sad, criminal, horrible situation. I hope that nobody else is involved. I want to imagine that Triple H, that everybody else is as far from this situation as possible because of how we're not even just talking about some partially disgusting behavior. If somebody has killed themselves and raping people, this is at a workplace passing. The idea that somebody was being passed around at a workplace and they felt the need to perform sexual acts on somebody to keep a job is everything that's wrong with everything about that situation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing is, you have to know that some of these people at the top were around it somehow. Mm-hmm. You know, Triple H. I'm not calling anybody else. I'm not saying that this is all I'm just saying they were in the area. They were amongst the office, especially the top guys. Top guys or executives or people in production roles or whatever, all those people are at fault. If they're going to clean house, and they better have a big plan in place because it's going to be rough if they do clean house how they're supposed to.
I read somewhere that that's part of what I don't know how true this one was or wasn't. Tell me if you read this one, that this was essentially some of the issues that Shane had with his father, that Shane separated himself.
Yep.
Because he was trying to get his father to act like a normal human being and stop being a monster, and Shane couldn't do it and was like, I'm not going to have anything to do with this.
You think that, Stephanie coming and going in between, like it was always perfectly timed. Like, oh, he's out. Okay, she's in. He's back. She's out. Like, why do you think that's happening? Yeah, it's, I'm for sure, 100% those are the issues with Shane. And I'm sure that's also 100% why Shane would do the ridiculous shit he would do, and jumping off of Titantrons and like his dad. You're gonna go up there and this is what's gonna happen. And
Matt McCarthy, We Watch Wrestling podcast. Matt McCarthy calls those "Do you love me now, dads?" yeah. Shane McMahon's finisher is the "Do you love me now, dad?"
There's that.
I'll jump off the Hell in a Cell. You love me now, dad?
But, it could be darker than that. It could be, hey, go do that. Since you don't want to be a part of the thing, you don't want to partake, go jump off the Titantron then. You know what I mean? It could be darker than that. So anyway, to get away from how dark that was, and by the way, all jokes, I can officially call myself a comedian. So you and I are comedians making jokes. Okay, we're just trying to have a good laugh.
When's the next riffs at Knuckleheads?
February 28th.
On February 28th, what you need to do, you have to read those text messages out loud until you can't read them anymore, and that's when you take a shot of Malort. All right, you got to read them out loud on stage in your Vince McMahon voice.
Is that the new Down the Hatch segment?
Yep. Reading Vince McMahon's.
Buddy,
horrible text messages.
So bad, dude. And
let's not kink shame, unless that is something that you and your partners consent to.
Right.
And that's how you like to talk to each other, because that's appropriate as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
But
that's
not
fine.
if it's to an employee who doesn't want it, who is trying to keep their job, who you are sharing pictures and videos of.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. And okay, so where does this put me? I'm not going to name names again, but I used to work for a company where it was a live online video game, and I would have to monitor people's behavior on there by reading their stuff. And it was a lot of that. Now, I am now being exposed to that world, those kinds of conversations amongst people. Like, where does that put me? Am I also now
No, that's why you like drinking Malort on stage. That's what you're talking about. That's a natural reaction to that.
I no longer work there. Thank God.
The pain. It feels better to do that than to read those messages.
So terrible, dude. 4 years of that, by the way.
My God.
Anyway, so okay, the Rumble happened.
Wait, to quote Jake the Snake, you start with 1, then you go to 2, then 2 with toys, then 2 with toys. I'll just watch. That's where you're at. You're at the Jake the Snake level. If you don't know that, go watch Beyond the Mat, kids.
Great movie. That movie traumatized me. The whole thing with The Rock and Mankind too. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway, jeez, Drake the Snake. Anyway, John Cena. By the way, if you're not following his Instagram, please do so.
He was at the press conference. He did an amazing job at the press conference.
Did he? John Cena?
Yeah, he was there. You couldn't see him?
No.
That's the only John Cena you can't see me joke I've ever done. I'm never doing another one.
CM Punk was there, though.
Yeah, he was.
That's another thing that happened.
Let me tell you, one of my favorite activities is listening to those Colt Cabana podcasts over and over again. Maybe once a year, once every other year for a while. I listened to him recently. He complained a lot about coming back to work after some surgery. He didn't feel so bad about doing it this time around, did he?
No.
He had his surgery. He came right back. He's like, I'll be on TV. Whatever you guys need, I'm over here.
My mouth still works. Put me to work, man. Boy, Big E was there as well, which he had a nice little burn on CM Punk with. He's like, I'm only here to make sure you don't get fined because you have a bad reputation. I'm like, that was good. But yeah, that happened. CM Punk injured again, and I haven't been able to speak to the people about it.
Yeah.
Look, man.
So I guess if CM Punk doesn't get injured, is the original it's funny because we're going to have to go back and speculate on a lot while looking forward. Because I guess, so for me, I have an idea of what I think is happening with The Rock at WrestleMania, but it seems like Roman and Rock has always been the plan. It seems like Roman and Cody has always been the plan. If Punk doesn't get hurt, is it Punk and Rollins? And now what's the plan for Rollins if Punk was out of the... In a real question, who is Rollins facing at WrestleMania?
Drew McIntyre.
You think it's Drew McIntyre?
Yep. He's working on it. I mean, he's been showing up, by the way, killing it on the promos.
Yeah.
Killing it on the fucking mic.
I prayed for this to happen.
Oh, my God.
I prayed for this to happen.
That was so good. So good. That's exactly what I wanted.
I'm not a spiritual man, but I prayed for this to happen, CM Punk.
God, I was
you and me
so happy.
Hey, by the way, every time somebody comes back, Drew just goes, we're not so different, you and me. We're not so different. We both left and came back.
Yeah, that's true.
I prayed for this.
I feel like
I'm
that's
not a
the
spiritual
story.
man. I prayed for it.
Amazing. And that's true, by the way. How many people are at the top of WWE that had to leave and come back, huh?
That's an old Vince saying. Did you ever hear that? That's an old Vince saying, which is to be a real star, you got to leave, become a star, and come back. I think it was Piper or Jesse Ventura talked about how that happened. But if you look at anybody within the company, that essentially is what happens, save for some. There are some like a Stone Cold, like
Cena.
The Rock, Cena, who became legitimate stars within and stayed that way.
Roman
but
never
far
went.
more examples too, especially early on. Hogan left and came back. It was Rocky III that made him a star. Piper did some movies. He bounced around territories, became a star there. It's this. Look, it's like in real life. This is something that happened to me in my life as well. It happens to many people. You're never valued as highly at the company you worked yourself up in as you are to the next company you move to.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes you work your way up in the WWE, you leave, work up higher and come back, or vice versa. You work yourself up as a star, LA Knight, and then you come over and you're the big star. That's what's going to happen with MJF. He built himself up somewhere else. He's going to come over eventually and he'll be a big star.
Yeah. Isn't it kind of wild, though, how over LA Knight was, and we haven't really, no one's talking about him for the last couple of weeks. Ever since the Rumble. It's just kind of, that was it. He hasn't really been back.
I have no trouble with that whatsoever, because I think that so I was somebody who was a little lukewarm on Cody Rhodes for a while, and I'm hot on Cody Rhodes right now. And I think if Cody Rhodes had won If Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns for the title at WrestleMania last year, I'm not nearly as excited as I am to see him win, whether it's at WrestleMania or somewhere else, because it mattered and it built up and it gave time for somebody to develop as a character. And I don't mean this on the guy or on the character, but I never bought into Drew McIntyre as the champion when he won that Rumble and beat Brock. And there are these times that some of these wrestlers are pushed forward to the forefront so quickly that I think there's value in letting it build a little bit more. If LA Knight beat Roman in Saudi Arabia, it doesn't feel the same as if he stays legitimate for the next year, wins at SummerSlam, wins at Survivor Series, wins the Rumble next year. Something, and we'll talk about this too with everything that's going on right now with Cody and Roman and Rock and everybody else. How, as fans, I found fans oftentimes are screaming for this long-term booking, and then as soon as we get long-term booking, it's like they're taking too long. But somebody like LA Knight is gaining from a long-term booking. It's not a rush to it. If he's over, good. Now get more over. Get more. You either want to see somebody lose or want to see somebody win. And the more they build up us wanting Cody is a prime example. Tell me anybody who wants to see Cody win less than they do more right now. Everybody wants to see Cody win more right now because they've built him over time. That's valuable. Let guys like LA Knight, let guys like Damian Priest, let all of these guys grow into those moments. Don't just And I just mean somebody like Drew McIntyre, I felt won the title so fast, so out of nowhere. I was like, I don't see it. What does everyone else see? You guys, everyone loves him. Make me love him. Why do I love him? And obviously COVID got in his way as well, but looks like he was planned to beat Brock at that WrestleMania anyway. So I was still left wondering. And now he's doing great work now, but he's not stayed main event. He's been in and out of the picture. I think there's value in that, letting somebody simmer and grow into it, that will take somebody like LA Knight and make him a main event player longer, like an AJ Styles.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I approve of that as well, but I don't know. I feel there's maybe a little bit of heat between The Rock and him, because it has been said that LA Knight is basically copying The Rock's style or whatever in terms of promos. Maybe there's some kind of heat there. He's just, I don't know. I feel like they could have done something else with give him the world title. Rollins is injured. Give it to LA Knight. Let him become the workhorse champion. But I don't know. I feel like the opportunity has slipped through their fingers, and the more they focus on what's going on at WrestleMania, the less we're going to hear about LA. We're not going to hear about him until, unless he wins the Elimination Chamber. Is he even in that?
But isn't it wouldn't it be incredible if LA Knight won Money in the Bank over the summer and cashed in at SummerSlam on the world champion?
Here's the thing. What's going on with that? I feel like that briefcase is pointless. Damian Priest hasn't done shit with it. He keeps trying, I'm going to do it. And then, I got hit again. I guess I'll just walk away. Who cares anymore? No one's even talking about Damian Priest with the briefcase. So,
although, to that point, Damian Priest is more over with me than he's ever been. Damian Priest's work, his promos, this look, and it's a beautiful, so people will talk about LA Knight and say he's a Stone Cold and Rock ripoff, but I don't think of it that way. I think of it the same way as Damian Priest and LA Knight are the next step in the evolution in the way that Damian Priest is what would happen if you took Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, put them together, and then brought them into the modern version of it. And that dude is doing work on a whole other level, where I remember a few months back, he was alone. And there was a moment where I think it was even leading into War Games. He was by himself and everyone was there. And he was like, you could see it was on his face on a Monday Night Raw. He was like, all right, bring it. And he went into battle alone. That's a face move. And then he pulls heel moves. He's being built to the next level to be a star on a main event platform for years to come. He'll cash in a way that I think is going to turn him face. Was it you or somebody else who was just I think it was you, who's the contract's not in the briefcase anymore.
Yeah.
Judgment Day took it out, and he's going to go to cash in, and it's not going to be there, and it won't count. It's a dusty finish on him when he tries to cash in on Cody. He goes and beats them, gets his contract back, and gets it later. across the board, I have never had more faith in the WWE's booking and a more benefit of the doubt. Like, wait and see. Just like, my God, when The Rock came out on SmackDown and everybody freaked out on the internet the next day, it was like, motherfucker, let them, like, give them a moment. Let them tell a story. Just because it didn't happen the moment you want, it doesn't mean we're not only not going to. 15 minutes before we got on here, The Rock slapped Cody Rhodes in the face. After last week, he whispered something in his ear where I was waxing poetic about how The Rock must have said something that really mattered to Cody, because that wasn't a look of sadness. That was a smile and then a look of like, oh my God. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to hear from you, Rock. That's what I took from Cody's face. And now he got slapped in that same face. Like, this is a whole ass story. They got 8 weeks left till WrestleMania. That's 8 episodes of television. We still don't know what's going to happen. Maybe Rock. I think at this point, Cody and Roman has to happen because they definitely just announced it today.
Yeah.
But there's a million ways to go about it and a million things that can happen up until then. Until
the Rock could come and break his arm, break Cody's arm, and now I'm in the main event. Oops. Look, it's. Right. I think there.
So what do you think happens night 1 and night 2 with Rock, Roman, Cody, Rollins, the 2 titles? Let's focus on those main event pictures. Not to put anybody else aside, but those are clearly the big matches and the ones that. The Rock, by the way, has said they're going to make history, that this is going to be the biggest event that they've ever done. It matters not just that he's here, but that they're supposed to be. Remember, he said last year, he's like, I won't come back and do it unless we can do something that's never been done. So what is he about to do that's never been done? It's not just a 3-way. They've done 3-ways. That's been done before.
Yeah. I don't know. I think, look, you're giving them a lot of credit and benefit of the doubt in the sense of they've been planning this for so long. I feel like they are doing this next day. They are being a reactive company now. Listen, but in a positive way. People have been asking for this. People have been asking for, hey, we're reacting and you're ignoring us and doing whatever the long-term plan was. That was the beef with Roman years ago. You are shoving your plan down our throat that you have had in your mind that this is what's going to happen. This is a new era. I feel that this era of WWE is a little more reactive. I think Triple H has a squad of people on Twitter reading everything and reporting back. And he goes, all right. And then they sit in a room with Cody and whoever it is. All the writers sit together and like, all right, so here's how we're going to pivot. And we're going to do this and this and this. All right, let's improv. Like, what happens if this? And you know what I mean? I think they are more active and more like, look at the Damian Priest thing. I think they had a plan for Priest. And then when the R-Truth shit started popping and the crowd started loving it, they're like, all right, pivot. Pivot to truth.
Dude, I absolutely believe something like that far more than The Rock's involvement. Because the other side is, I think people would be foolish to listen to the We Want Cody thing as if it is the overriding majority.
But I think the We Want Cody thing.
You might pivot weekly, right? The New Day started that way. When something gets over, that's one thing. This one, The Rock's involvement, where they were going with this, I think the majority of it was decided and planned, including some of the. Do you really think, this is an honest, I'm not even saying I think this one way or another. Do you think they didn't know that people would react a little poorly to this? Wouldn't that have been factored into the plan? They had to know people weren't going to love seeing this happen this way.
I think it was decided upon that day. I think the We Want Cody storyline was, all right, well, we don't know what's going to happen. If we go out there and people go crazy for The Rock and the audience loves it and they're like, fuck yeah, Roman, oh my God, Cody's such a good guy. That's amazing. Of course, we've all wanted Rock and Roman. We've been talking about it for years. Amazing. If that was the reaction, then boom, they go that way. And I think that they had the audible on the table of, if they boo, this is the direction. We're going to go, We Want Cody, push for Cody, boom, boom, boom. I think they're being more reactive. I think that's what the new era is about. I think it's listening a little bit more to the audience and playing and manipulating the audience along with manipulating all the dirt sheets and all the press people. Giving them all these fake stories and things that people are like, oh my God, what's going to happen? It's driving people crazy.
Sports Skeeta is amazing to follow on Instagram.
Yeah.
30% of it is right. The other 70 is just some random shit somebody made up and wrote and put out there. And I'm like, I can usually tell too, which I was like, this is not only not a news story. This is, you just wrote this. Somebody was one of us was in the office speculating. We're like, yeah, post it. That's fine. Just post it. That's cool.
I think we live in that era where the internet and the social media and the stories are all very, very, like, not important, but powerful. It's a voice that's super powerful. You're getting more streams than you are fucking ratings on television because more people are on the internet. So you're going to pay attention to where the people are talking. And I think when they started seeing the commotion, like me, first night when the handoff happened with Cody and Rock, right? Like, I'm not going to face you at WrestleMania. It's going to be this guy. And I posted, no, knowing, not as a mark, I wasn't freaking out. I know what was going on. But I know that if I participate, that is now adding fuel to that fire that they're looking for. Okay, so you're going to give us the nose? Okay, nobody likes us? Great. Here's that plan. Boom. We were looking at. If the crowd wouldn't have reacted, maybe nothing. It's the same thing I have to tell myself every time I go to a local indie show or I go see a friend of mine work pro wrestling. I have to remind myself that I'm at a show and my reactions are going to affect the people, too, around me. So if I just sit there like, hey, buddy, he's winning because, I know because he's my friend and blah, blah, blah. No, I have to be part of the fun. I have to boo the heels. I have to clap for the baby. Even if my friend is the heel, I'm going to look at my friend. It's usually me laughing as I'm going, boo. Yeah. Because I'm just playing along. It's part of the fun. So that is the reaction I wanted to happen, and it's happening. I'm a happy fan right now. While a lot of people like Mr. LaGreca over at Busted Open Radio was having a fucking conniption in his pink bathrobe, my goodness, I hate you, Dwayne Johnson. Like, dude, settle down. I was just booing because I love Cody. I want him to be on the picture. I'm not like, oh my God, it's the corporate Rock. He's here. Like, no, man, relax. This is going to be a fun ride. I think play along. I think voice yourself because that's what they're looking for. They're looking for that Daniel Bryan, the voice of the people, the yes movement thing. It's not going to be the yes movement. It'll be the whoa movement. We can call it that if you want.
Whoa! Dude, I walk around the apartment singing that freaking song. Are you kidding me? Still don't know the words. Still don't. When my father said, when I was younger.
Yeah. No, it's a good fucking song, dude.
Oh, I love that song. Oh, I can't wait to find them. I'm going to do a perfect Cody Rhodes suit. I'll make one of those TikTok videos of me throwing the clothes on the bed.
Dude, I mean, look, as a fan of Cody, I've been on the journey with him since he left and went out to New Japan and Bullet Club and hanging out with him in Ontario and all the stuff I've talked about a million times here. I'm here for the journey for Cody, but I'm also here for the fucking story, dude. The whole everything, all of it. Not just his story. I like this new element of the family aspect for The Rock. And the
by the way, let me tell you right now, glad to hear how they feel about their family. You guys could talk shit about my family all you want. I don't really, I'm not close enough with them where if you're like, hey, Peter and Kathy, fuck them. I'm like, you know what? I understand your reasoning. My grandma wrote a book about being a Holocaust survivor and someone on Amazon reviewed it poorly. I laughed at it. I was like, go ahead. Please. If that gets you go, you don't know them like I know them. There are some complaints to be made. You don't even know the half of it. Please. Oh my God. There's no one in my family, I would slap someone in the face if they were like, your father would be ashamed. I'm like, you're probably right. I've made some decisions he probably wouldn't agree with. I would slap someone in the face. That's amazing. I wish I had, who would I, my dog. If you talk shit about my dead dog, Bandit, if you said Bandit would be ashamed of me, I'll slap you in the face. If you said Peter would be ashamed of me, I'd be like, how did you know? Do you follow him on Facebook too? Because he might be.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Actually, the only people I get like uppity about are like really close friends. Like I know, really, like my brothers. If somebody's fucking with my brother, I'm gonna step up. Even if my brother's wrong, I'm gonna look at him like, "Fuck you, dude, for making me do this right now." You know what I mean? Like this is your fault that I'm gonna have to punch that person in the face. But yeah, like I don't know. It's fun.
Talk shit about my mom and dad. Do not talk shit about Scout Durwood. I'll come after you for Scout Durwood. Peter, Kathy, go ahead. My grandparents, they're long gone. It's fine. They loved me when I was here. That's what they did.
Oh, your grandparents loved you?
Oh. Yeah. I love them to death. They're fantastic. You talk some shit, it's not really going to bother anybody. What are you going to say? Ashamed of me? Okay, fine. Oh no. Oh, you didn't think I
They already are, motherfucker. Yeah, they already are.
You know how much Jewish guilt they put on me? I don't ashamed of me. Yeah, they tried to pressure me into being a lawyer. I get it. I know they're ashamed of what I did, but they love me anyway.
Since the first day of my comedy career, they've been ashamed of me.
They'd be ashamed of me for slapping someone in the face also on live television. Rock.
Turn your cheeks. Oh my goodness, dude.
So what do you think? What do you think is happening with these main event players going into WrestleMania?
I do think the three-way's happening. I think that's Rock's going to insert himself. He's going to use his corporate power to insert himself into the match. I don't think he's just going to let it go now. That's not going to happen. Something's got to happen, and I think it's him inserting himself. Or we get that tag match that I tell you, Rock Roman versus Cody Rollins. Night 1 of Mania, and then night 2 is the three-way. Because maybe something happens on night 1 at that tag match to cause a little friction between Rock and Roman. That way we can get into the three-way. The only thing that I can think of that is something like The Rock said that is never been seen before. I mean, it's hard to imagine. It's all been done, and so The Rock turns on Roman. It's been done. Double turn. Roman goes face. That's been done. I don't know. Like, what do we do here? What do we do that has never been seen before? Fuck, I don't know. Vince McMahon pops up, and you know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about here? How do we make this something so wild that people talk about it forever? Like Rock said about this press conference. I don't think we're going to be talking about it for the next 2 months, maybe. Leading into Mania. I don't think we're going to be talking about this press conference forever, by the way.
Yeah, he might have hyped that one up a little bit.
That's what I'm saying. So he hypes things up. I know people like The Rock. They're from Miami. He's from Miami. I know Miami people. We exaggerate shit. Hey, come to this party. There's like 300 people. This is how I met my band, by the way, 10 years ago or whatever it was. Hey, man, there's a party at this house. There's a bunch of chicks. They're wrestling in mud. We have kegs of beer. There's like 300 people here. Come out. I showed up. It was 4 dudes in their house, just fucking playing around with their games and shit. I'm like, where are the kegs? Where are the chicks that you promised? This is Florida. Rock is Florida. So he exaggerates. This press conference, we're going to talk about it forever? Nah. We're going to do something that no one's ever seen? I don't think so. It's going to be good, but it's not going to be something we've never seen before. I think we just need to temper our expectations with The Rock's words.
I have certainly gone into, but here's the thing. I went into Royal Rumble with some heightened expectations that I set myself up for disappointment, but
a lot of people did. Okada.
It was a testament to me that the WWE has been operating at such a level for so long that my expectations didn't feel wild. I thought John Cena would show up and set up his next match. I thought Punk and Cody were going to do the Brett and Lex finish, because that felt like what they're doing now is this whole other level of great storytelling, big time main events and matches and things that feel big and exciting. I will tell you that I still think that there is something really valuable in Cody not walking away with the WWE title from WrestleMania. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think that there are 2 points I would look at. One, I will scream it until the day it happens. Roman Reigns should beat Hulk Hogan's title reign, because you should put Roman Reigns' name above Hulk Hogan on that list for a variety of reasons, including the fact that Roman is that good. This is an undeniable run he is on. And if you have the chance in a story, if you could have scripted LeBron James to break Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's record, you would have. And you have the chance to script Roman Reigns beating Hulk Hogan's record. The other two seem so unattainable that you would never, but you're already here. You're months away from it happening. He should keep it, which would also set up the idea that, for me, Cody Rhodes said something on Raw the other night that tipped me off to this one, when he said, when they took that belt out of my father's hands in the garden, there's something very poetic and beautiful about Cody finishing the story by beating Roman Reigns at Madison Square Garden for that title, because that title and the Garden are inexorably linked. They're one and the same. And if you really talk about the story of WWE, of Dusty Rhodes, of the Anoa'i family, of Cody, of all of these people, it converges at Madison Square Garden with the WWE title. So I think, though I don't think they're set up for it in this moment, those are two things. If I'm in that writer's room, I'm pitching hard. I'm like, Roman should not lose. He should keep that title. He should beat Hulk Hogan's record, put his name in the books. Cody should win that title, but he should win that title at the Garden, because that would mean even more. But given what we do have, if you're also asking me to script something that's never been done before, I think this is the perfect opportunity to have both of those matches happen on 2 consecutive nights. I think this is the opportunity to have Rock and Roman one-on-one one night, and Roman and Cody one-on-one a second night. And I don't think it's a perfect booking idea, but just watching that press conference, what I came out of it was, okay, well, Cody and Roman are going one-on-one. Well, Rock and Roman are going one-on-one. So you put Rock and Roman on night 1 as the main event, and you put Cody and Roman on night 2 as the main event. But that means that if those, right, whoever wins that title match, Rock or Roman's going on to night 2, then Cody's got to wrestle night 1 as well, right? So that means that Cody's got to face Rollins. And the winner of that goes on. I think, look, it's a wildly imperfect, even as I'm saying it out loud, but you have Cody and Rollins night 1. Cody beats him for the title because Rollins has got to take some time off. I think you could even have Damian Priest cash in that night, beat him, because night 2, he's going on to face the winner of Rock and Roman. I still think there's the one-on-one matches, I think, are very exciting. I think you're probably right, and it's a 3-way between them, right? We've seen that main event before when Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte main evented WrestleMania as a 3-way. I think it's incredibly viable. I think Rock has created great heat against Cody to make it happen, so now we want to see all of those things, although Rock and Roman clearly have some stuff together where they're defending each other as well. There's so many different ways they could go, but I'd be very interested to see each guy's got to wrestle both nights back to back. That would be a big. You want to talk about never been done before? Maybe that is the night Rock beats Roman for the title and goes on to face Cody night 2, and Cody beats Rock for the title, because now Roman can come back at any point and go, Cody, you might be the champ, but you didn't beat me. You beat my cousin.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And you unify the titles, which has been a conversation on the internet as well. The unification because they got to fix Rollins' title. Cody choosing the Roman fight affirms that Rollins' title is secondary. You know what I mean?
What a great way to get both titles defended in the same storyline in one night. So I think it's imperfect, I don't think this should happen. Look, there's so many imperfect ways. To me, even the 3-way is imperfect because it doesn't serve either Rock and Roman were supposed to go one-on-one for the title, or Cody and Roman were supposed to go for the title one-on-one. It should have been those things, but if this is what we have and we're trying to make it, all right, let Rock beat Roman night 1, go on to face Cody night 2, and Cody beats The Rock. You talk about monumental, never been done before. There's your arc. The Rock gets his final title reign, dethrones his cousin, and Cody still comes out on top. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I like that idea. And while you were talking earlier about the reign of Roman surpassing the Hulk, how about that does happen, but we get face Roman right before the end. 1 day left. He loses.
Yes.
He almost got it.
That's worth it.
The sadness that the people would feel because now he's a face. Now you're fully behind him, and you're like, he's going to do the record. And Hogan sucks because he said the N-word and he's a racist. This is the moment. And then the night before, oh, nope. Like, oh.
So here's another thing to think about with what they're writing. The way to be a true heel, you need to take away something that the fans want. Mm-hmm. Rock is clearly in that place of being a heel, which would mean if Roman were to beat Rock, it would be a face move because he's beating the guy who would be taking the thing that people want. Like, there's a lot going on. Again, I have no idea how they're going to play it. I'm very excited. I'm very interested.
And
as we see 3 or 4 times a week, it changes. Every time we went to go talk about, let's talk before the Rumble. Let's talk after the Rumble. Wait, let's see what they say on Monday now that he's hurt. Wait, let's see what happens later. Wait, hold on. They're going to Netflix every time.
Yeah, it's been wild. It's been wild to try and do the show. I'm sorry, guys, that are watching and listening that actually care about what we have to say. But I
by the time we post this podcast, it'll be moot. There'll be something else that comes out.
I'm rushing after this to upload it and get it up as soon as tonight if possible, because I know but by the time I go edit, it's going to be Triple H now alleged and he's out, and The Rock too.
Triple H is wrestling Rhea Ripley for the title. Oh, by the way, that was a fun one. I was talking Mike Glazer, great comedian. Go follow Mike Glazer if you guys are watching. Mike Glazer was he was not watching Royal Rumble live because he had a show, so he was out. I do this with all of my friends. I will text message them non-spoiler spoilers, all caps. He's out at a show. Oh my God, The Undertaker just entered the Royal Rumble, won, and is challenging Andre the Giant for the NBA championship. Like the wildest stuff you can imagine. I'm texting him during the Rumble. Oh my God, Conor McGregor just showed up, eliminated The Rock, and is now going to face Floyd Mayweather for a seat on the Supreme Court justice. Just going all in on every wild. So if you have a friend who's ever missing a show, text them over-the-top wild spoilers of what could be happening on WWE.
See, I'm an asshole, so I wouldn't go as over the top. I would still make it sort of like The Undertaker showed up and threw out CM Punk and is going to Mania. Sounds kind of believable.
Of course, but then they know that didn't happen. Then they know you didn't spoil. You know what I mean? Like you got to send them something that they know obviously didn't happen.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Undertaker just chokeslammed Tiger Woods and won the Masters tournament. You got to go big.
Well, all right. We'll definitely.
Before we go, did you see? Did you just see? They revealed the Kobe Bryant statue down at the Staples Center.
Oh no, I haven't. I have not.
Oh, check it out. If you guys didn't see it, they just unveiled the new statue. They're gonna have 3, so this isn't even the only one that'll be there, but it's the first one. And if you look, it's him acknowledging the tribal chief Roman Reigns because it's him walking off the floor after his 81-point game, and it just so happens he's acknowledging the tribal chief.
Nice.
So we know who's walking out of WrestleMania as the WWE World Champion. Kobe Bryant has proclaimed the tribal chief. As the Evil Genius says, the tribal chief is walking out of WrestleMania. I have no idea what's happening, and I love it.
It's like
Hulk Hogan against the Ultimate Warrior all over again. But hopefully, I don't wind up crying like I did at the end of WrestleMania 6.
I want to believe, and the WWE does this to me every once in a while, where I get back in like, oh, I believe, and it's going to be good. And they fuck me in the end somehow. But I want to believe this time because Vince is gone. He's done fucking me like he's done so many other victims. And
but look, at this point, you want to know the most likely thing to happen? If The Rock is turning heel, he's walking out of WrestleMania the WWE champion because that's real heat. Real heat is neither Cody nor Roman left with the title. The Hollywood man himself, the one that we all wanted to see, but the minute we got it this way, we didn't like him. We didn't want it. We didn't think the one thing you wouldn't imagine, that's what's going to happen because that's big. If The Rock shows up on Monday night with a WWE championship over his shoulder and says, I am the head of the table. What? Roman, no. You're all eating because I'm eating. I'm the star of Moana 2 coming out this summer, surprising.
Oh, my God. Catch me in the new Fortnite universe video game, too, while you're at it. Unbelievable, dude. But, yeah, we'll be back to talk for sure soon. I'm sure something will happen in about a week and a half where we're going to text each other like we need to talk. So
Monday
we'll talk
night.
soon.
Wait, today's Thursday? Tomorrow night? Tomorrow's SmackDown.
Well, no, tomorrow what happens after that? We're going to I guarantee you out of the 2 hours of the show, we're going to get an hour and 25 minutes of recaps from the press conference because that's how.
And then 25 minutes of entrance music.
Yeah. And at the end, they're just a stare down and then the little fucking trademark at the bottom, the copyright thing. Like, shit. But yeah,
that segment was so good, though. That segment was so good. That's if you go back, especially this is what we talked about too. The Rock coming out again when Austin Theory was out there was not a one-time thing, and that segment looks so much better now, knowing what was happening. That segment last week looks even better, but every camera angle was perfect. Every moment of pause. The minute The Rock turned and Roman is over his shoulder and they're looking at each other, this thing is a whole other level now, man. This is
no more Kevin. No more
finest.
Kevin Dunn. No more Kevin Dunn. Did that also happen since we spoke?
I think so.
Oh my God! No more Kevin Dunn. So no more fucking sloppy cam.
So no more the camera follows punches.
Yeah.
By the way, I always said this, but the camera following the punches in the turnbuckle would be like if you're watching the NBA and the camera followed the ball bouncing up and down. No, just hold on LeBron. Let me just see LeBron dribbling. I'm good.
Yeah, but all right. Thank you guys for watching and listening. We will be back. We're still in the middle of transitioning with into a woman. Into a new studio. We're working on that. There's a lot going on. I'm talking about possibly doing a comedy show in Philly for Mania weekend. We're already in talks with the venue. It gives me a reason to be in town for Mania. And we have some people that are interested. I'm not going to name names because I'm not going to jinx it, but some big names are interested in doing the show. So hopefully we get this venue locked in and I can make a big announcement. But yeah, there's a lot going on. A lot of live shows. February 28th is the next Riffs. Eddie, what do you got going on? You have any dates?
I'll be down at, if you guys are watching, come by the Hollywood Improv Friday, February 23rd. We're doing No Laughing. That's a show where we pull contestants from the audience. If you can last 3 1-minute rounds of comedy without laughing, you'll win cash and prizes. Go check it out on Instagram at I am Eddie Furth and at No Laughing Show. We're down at the Improv Friday, February 23rd at 9:45 p.m. You can win my cash, actual $20 bills and No Laughing t-shirts. So come check that out. I got plenty more coming up after that, but come out and check that out.
I need to find out one of these days what you actually do for a living, because you have so many suits and matching accoutrement, and then you give out money at your shows. What kind of drugs are you selling, sir?
Only the best. It's all hair regrower.
Oh, nice.
For hims.com.
Blue Chew. All right, guys, please follow Eddie at I am Eddie Furth. Follow me at RRBG Podcast. Make sure you're following the show at Outside Interference Show. We'll see you next time. Peace.